Welcome to Book Talk. I'm your host, Anthony Mohr. At Book Talk, we get to have authors come and tell us about their books. And today, we have a great guest with us who is going to talk about his book, Real Freedom. And we are going to know much more about this real freedom. What is it all about? Now, before we get started, I'll ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to start a business and didn't know where to start or how to grow it? Now, our guest today, with the book that he has, is going to tell us something to do with franchising. Now, you may not have heard that phrase before, that word before, or maybe you've heard about it. If you've heard about it, you're going to get a clearer picture of what it is all about. And without taking one more minute, I'm going to invite here with us our guest today, who is known as Greg Mohr. I hope I got that right. Hi, Greg.
Yeah, hi, Anthony. Thank you for having me on today.
Yes, did I get that name right?
Greg Mohr, yes, sir.
Greg Mohr, yes. And where are you, if I may ask?
Licking, Missouri.
Missouri. Now, that almost sounds like a word in my own language. I speak Swahili, and Missouri sounds like good. Missouri, it's like Missouri, which is good in Swahili.
It is beautiful out here, out in the Ozarks, out in the forest.
Okay, that's beautiful. And if I may also ask, what is it that you do currently?
What I do is I help people get into franchising. My clients don't necessarily know which franchise they want to get into, or even how to get into a franchise, or how to get started into a business. And I help them go through the process of finding franchises that are a good fit for them, fit their criteria, and the franchisors are looking for people just like them.
That's beautiful. It's good to hear that. And I came across a book that you've written. When did you start writing, even before we go to the current? Is this your first book, or have you been writing before?
My first book, I started writing it maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. I started going through the process of writing it, finally got it published probably last March, about a year ago. I got it published on that. And it's all about all the questions that people have about franchising itself. It took me a little while to write it. There's a lot of things that people ask on a regular basis. So I thought, with all the questions that people ask on a regular basis, why don't I just put all the answers down in the book? So if people are interested, they just pick up the book, read it, and they get an idea about franchising that way.
And that's good. And it's actually a beautiful book. I love it.
Thank you.
Real Freedom: Why Franchises Are Worth Considering and How They Can Be Used for Building Wealth. It's a beautiful.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that.
Yes. And we get to go deeper into it. First and foremost, for someone who may not have an idea of what franchising is, maybe can you give us, in a layman's language, what it is all about, so that we dive deeper into it?
So you're getting started in a business, basically, is what you're doing there. So there's a couple different ways of starting a business. You can just do it yourself, which is very, you just do everything. You've got an idea of what people will like, that people are going to want something, and you can do it yourself. You do everything yourself, start to finish, put everything together all by yourself. If you don't want to do it all by yourself, if you don't have the latest, greatest idea, that's where a franchise comes in. So the reason you would invest in a franchise rather than doing it yourself is because you want somebody there as a partner in your success. You want a proven model, proven methods that you can just step right into, follow those processes and procedures, and your chances of success in getting to where you want to be are that much greater. And you want the franchise to get you to where you want to be 2 to 3 years quicker than if you had to go through the whole thing yourself. So think of franchising as somebody who is a partner in your success. They've done it before. They've gone through all the real difficult times of getting that business built up. And now they've reproduced it a few times already. so that you know it can be reproduced. And if you really want to eliminate or you make your success a lot better, is make certain the franchise has done it in a few different cities as well, so that they know that you know that they've reproduced it in various areas. So simple, basic thing, franchising is having a partner in your success that already has a proven business model. And there's many different industries you can get into that have franchises in it.
In other words, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I can take a wheel that has already been invented and I start rolling it.
That wheel is already rolling. He's already got it rolling into other, or he or she already has it rolling into other different cities. So you just jump on board, follow it in yours, and the franchise is going to be there with you all the time. They're not just going to say, here's the franchise, go get them, Tiger. They're going to be there with regular meetings, at least daily, weekly to begin with. And then you got your yearly meetings. So they're always going to be there for you.
Yeah, and with the experience that you've had with the franchising, and I understand as I'm looking through your profile, you didn't just get started with the franchising, you started with other businesses before you moved into that. What's the difference? What's the big one apart now that from the fact that I'm taking a wheel that is already rolling? What details, what are the challenges that you could point out in my own business, more challenges than starting a franchise?
So I went back when I was an engineer over at Motorola Semiconductor as a microelectronic circuit engineer. I started getting into businesses. I read, Robert Kiyosaki's books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, realizing that there was something, more out there. So me and a friend, another engineer, we actually bought a dry cleaners and we bought some storage units. We didn't have a clue about the dry cleaning industry, none whatsoever. Biggest challenge was learning about that. How do we learn about that? Where do we go find information on that? You're not going to go ask your competitors because they're not going to tell you on that one, because they don't want, they don't want the competition out there. So we had to go out on our own and find out exactly, how the machines did, where you find different machines, if you need to repair the machines, how to do that, where to find the clients, which ones are going to be our clients, who do we target, what kind of demographics do we target, are we in the proper area when we want to build out satellite units, where should we put them, where's the best location, where are we going to get the best traffic, all of that we had to do on our own and do it ourselves while we were working as engineers at the same time. So we already had a daytime job, 7 to 5. And now in our off hours, we had to figure out all this stuff on our own. Well, that's the biggest challenge when you're going out there and doing it yourself, is you've got really nobody to talk to or to ask about that. You've got to go out and gather that information on your own. Biggest challenge that there is. When I got into franchising, I found that the franchise knows exactly the demographics. And if it's a brick and mortar franchise, like, a dry cleaners, they know what they're looking for as far as traffic locations, high traffic locations. They know who their clients are. So they know what to look for in demographics and where to put that franchise system. Now, not all franchises are brick and mortar. Keep that in mind. There's some service industry franchises that are small office, but they're still going to be looking for areas where they have the demographics of the customers that they want. So they've already gone back and they've already done the analysis. They've shown and they've proven what areas will work best for their franchise system, where you can get the most clients, where you can get the best bang for your buck. We had to do all that ourselves as business owners of individual owners, and a big challenge on that. I learned a lot, but it takes a lot of time to get that done.
So it's the time for one to pick something that is already running. Now, I have my ideas of franchising, and mostly is because of some famous food chains that we have seen. And I have learned that they are franchises. And the question comes in, because someone who's listening and could be interested in starting a business may not necessarily be looking forward to start with the food industry and go for the famous franchises and start one or join one. Up to what can be a franchise? In what areas could I find franchising, like if not only in the food area? And I'm glad that you mentioned about your experience, but I'm trying to imagine, can I find franchising in a bookstore? or maybe selling phones, or any, tell us what's the extent, and what's the most weird thing that you've ever had turned into a franchise?
So many different franchises. Yeah, you can break it actually down into two categories there. You can break it down into the brick and mortar franchises, and that's the ones that you and I see, everybody sees on a regular basis. You drive by them, you build it, and they will come. General theme on that. So you've got your automotive, you've got your food, you got your massages, you got your fitness, all of those things that you see on a regular basis out there. The phone franchises, iPhone repair franchises. You've got all those. Those are the brick and mortar ones that you see. Generally speaking, $250,000 investment on it. The ones that you don't see are the service industry franchises. Those are the ones where your clients don't necessarily know you exist until they need you. So you need a great franchise system to drive people to you when the need arises. Those just require a small office where you work from home, $150,000 investment or something like that. Senior care, tutoring franchises, office cleaning franchises, home cleaning, starting from the home, outside the home, pest control, groundskeeping, kitchen remodeling, roofs, insulation services, water conservation services, helping, weird ones. Yes, weird ones. Duty calls makes a lot of money. Duty calls is a pest cleanup franchise. So you're cleaning up pests. So you think about homeowners, they don't want to clean up after the dogs all the time. Dogs got a big mess. So you go in there, do it. And they do that for them. Amazingly enough, there's many people that will do that for you, but this one goes a little bit further. So when you think about duty calls, when you think about pest cleanup, also think about areas where other animals hang out. Golf courses, geese. You've got geese poop all over the place on golf courses. Great area for it. You've got your parks, recreation areas where the animals hang out. Great. So it's not only business to consumer, but it's also business to business. So that one's kind of weird. I've actually got a couple of people that are looking at that right now and are about to invest in that. They actually make a great deal of money. So that's probably one of the weird ones. And Anthony, pretty much any industry that you can think of is going to have a franchise associated with it.
It's good to know that. And as you say, it's the questions that you kept receiving that triggered your idea of going into writing this book. And maybe you could give us a few of the questions, the major questions that you've had. Maybe may have already asked one or two of the questions you've been receiving, but we would be interested to hear more questions that you were asked and how you answered them in the book.
Well, a lot of my people, when they get into franchising, they don't know anything about franchising. The first thing, of course, is, like you indicated, Anthony, that they think of just food-related franchises. So they don't know what type of franchises they on that one. So in that book, I go over not only the different industries like we just went over on that as well, but there's also other things to look at as well. When you're looking to get into a franchise, the questions that I'm going to ask you and that we're going to go over, first off, is where have you been? So where have you been? Why do I want to know where you've been? Because I want to know what you bring to the table. What are your skill sets? What's your background on that? I already talk with the franchisors on a regular basis, the people that own the franchises. I know who they are looking for in a successful franchisee. So I look at where have you been, your background, to see to make certain it matches up with certain franchises on that. So where are you at now? Are you working full-time? You just want something on the side? You want something completely passive, semi-passive, 15 to 20 hours a week, completely passive, a couple hours a month? Or are you looking to step away from corporate so you can get right into it? And then where do you want to be is what I'm looking for with people. 5 to 10 years from now, where do you see yourself on that? So what I do is take all that information and I match that up with franchises that are looking for people just like you, and you are looking for people just like them. There's so many other questions as we narrow down the list of franchises that I'll ask you. So when you're looking at franchises, there's certain things that you'll need to consider that I go over with in the book as well. Number one is, do you want to do it yourself? Do you want to be owner operator? Do you want employees? What kind of employees do you want? What kind of hours are you looking for there? Are you looking for a business that's just simply 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? So we're mostly looking at business to business type franchises on that one. If you're looking at employees, what's the number of employees? Do you like working with a lot of employees? Do you like more skilled labor? Do you like less skilled labor? What sort of things matter to you the most? Do you want that brick and mortar where you go to that? Do you want to go to an office on a regular basis? Or would you rather do something from home where you go out and visit with your clients and you create your own schedule on that? So many different things that I go over with folks. I have a questionnaire that I go over with them. I have a business of, or a matrix of business types that I go over with them as well. So we'll go over the different business types, business to consumer, simple retail, sophisticated retail. We'll go over business to business. We'll go through that matrix of business types to kind of narrow down the different ones. And I'll be asking all of these questions about what it is that you're comfortable with, what do you feel good about, and where do you see yourself?
That's good. Now, looking at what you share in the book, I see you also bring the answer to the question, what's the process? How do I go about? Now I have identified a franchise. I want to acquire it, or I want to buy a portion of it. I want to be in it. What's the process?
Well, first step in the process is you and I will get together. The first phone call is going to be you asking questions about me and about franchising. Anything you ever wanted to ask about me, anything you ever wanted to ask about franchising. Very first thing I should say is that my services are free to my clients. Franchisors pay me referral fees, so there's never any charge to you for our services or for my services. So our first phone call is you're going to get to know me. So I've got to make sure that you're comfortable working with me, if you like working with me. Assuming we make it past that phone call, you ask all the questions about me, I will send you out a questionnaire to fill out. You'll get that questionnaire filled out. I'll also send you my matrix of business types. I'll also send out our due diligence procedure, what you and I will go through to not only find franchises that are a good fit for you, but then go through the process of investigating those franchises that you feel good about. So we'll go through the questionnaire, go through the matrix of business types. The second phone call, when we go through all that, is I'm going to be asking about you. I'm going to be asking all those questions that I indicated before. Where have you been? Where are you at now? Where do you want to be? We'll look at different types of industries. We'll look at the types of employees. We'll look at the type of businesses that you'd like to get into. So that'll be half hour, 2 hours, whatever it takes as we go through all those questions in the questionnaire on that. And I'll use that information then to narrow it down so that I can come back to you with 5 or 10 different franchise opportunities. So I'll do that after our phone call. It takes me a couple of days. I'll go through all that information, come back to you with 5 or 10 different opportunities, send you my little one-pagers on each one, kind of just give you a general overview of each one of the franchises, give you an idea, an idea of what they are. You look them over. Our phone call after that, we'll go through each one of those together, and we'll narrow that down to maybe 2 or 3 different ones that you're looking at. And you, Anthony, say, these 2 look great. I love these 2. I'd like to learn more about them, all things being equal. So at that point in time, we've narrowed it down to 2. I will introduce you to the franchisors, and then we'll go through the process together of investigating those franchise. We're going to make 2 things we're going to make sure of. First of all, is franchising right for you to begin with? It's not for everybody. Once you start gathering information, I'm here to educate you. Simple as that. I'm not here to convince you that franchising is the greatest thing in the world. I'm here to educate you so that you can make an informed decision. So we'll make certain franchising is right for you. And then secondly, we'll make sure of is which franchise is right for you. The whole process, probably 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending how fast or slow you want to go.
Okay. It's good to know that about the process. Now, to anybody that may be joining us right now, we are talking to Gregory Mohr, otherwise known as Greg Mohr. And the book that we are discussing is Real Freedom: Why Franchises Are Worth Considering and How They Can Be Used for Building Wealth. Now, my question to you, Greg, where can people find that book?
Oh, Amazon.com is the simplest place to go. Just go to Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Right there. Or
and yeah.
Conversely, you can just send me your address and I'll send you a copy.
Okay. And even before I go to ask you how they can connect with you, the question that I have in my mind is, we have an international audience, and as we are talking, I'm imagining that your great experience is with the US market. Have you also interacted? Have you also transacted with a lot of people who are international? And you have,
Yes, not a lot.
yeah, no, but you have
I'll
some.
clarify, but I have. So I've brought people into the United States in an investor visa using an E2 visa.
Okay.
So I've done that. I've also helped franchises grow outside of the United States, over in England, over in Australia as well. Not a lot, but I have done that. So it doesn't matter where you're at. If you want to come here to the US and you want to get an international investor visa, E2 or EB5 visa, I can help you with that. I've got a visa attorney. We've got franchises that work with visa people all the time. Easy to do, nothing to it. If you want to stay in your country and you want to grow a franchise there, I have franchisers that want to grow in different countries throughout the United States. So anywhere in the world, pretty much, I can take care of.
Wow, that's beautiful. So to you who's listening out there, you've got a lot to need to connect with Greg. So if not to get the book that is available on Amazon, but you can also get it through his website, then you need to connect with him for advices on how to go about acquiring a franchise. And not only advice, but also help, as you have heard from him. So where can people find you now? That's the question.
Simply go to franchisemaven.com. Maven is MAV as in Victor, EN.com. You can email me at greg@franchisemaven.com or pick up the phone and give me a call at 361-772-6401. If I don't answer, leave a message. I will get back to you.
That's beautiful. Yeah, thank you for that. franchisemaven.com. You can always visit that website and connect with Greg. And also, yeah, once you connect with him, there's much more to it than just that. So this has been Book Talk. We are almost getting to the end of it. You can find that link in the description if you would want to connect with Greg. You can just follow the link. But before you go, we'd like you to leave us with a few words that we should always remember. It's a custom when you come to our show to leave us with a few words that we always remember you with.
Sorry, Anthony, you want me to give you what?
What?
What would you like me to give you?
Words that we can always remember, some inspiring words, something that we can remember you with.
So my motto that I live by is I can only get what I want by helping others get what they want. So that's how I live.
Wow, that's beautiful. So give others what they want, and in the event, you're gonna get what you want.
Exactly. Only by helping others achieve their goals and their dreams will I achieve my goals and my dreams.
Yes, I think I've heard that first from one famous guy known as Jim Rohn. Or was it Zig Ziglar? Zig Ziglar, yeah.
Zig Ziglar. I read his books and I live by him, that sales is something you do with somebody, not to somebody. So I'm here to educate. I'm here to help you with your dreams. Only by doing that will I achieve mine.
Wow, thank you very much for everything that you shared with us here about franchising and even that quote to live by. This has been Book Talk. I have been your host, Anthony Mwerore. And together with Greg Mohr, we are asking you to consider franchising. And we are saying, until next time, bye for now. Bye.